Number 3, how it works. All right, number 3 and 4 are pretty much going to be the same. How it works, and then advanced email routing. Let's go into now, how the heck does this thing work? All right, so let's just say you're now at this point, you're like, I've set up my site, I have my email address hooked up properly from my cell phone, I have all my social networks hooked up right, I did the advanced settings, so now you're like, how the heck do you use it? How do you post content to this Posterous account to go to all your networks? And here's how it works. It works through email. Alright, and here's what that means. Let's open up an email account. So here's an email account, and pretty much it works in this exact way. You see my email address here is josh@leadgenerationtv.com, right? And notice in Posterous, under my settings, under my contact information, my email address that's hooked up to the account is the same one, josh@leadgenerationtv.com. And then my email address that I'm in right now is called josh@leadgenerationtv.com. What that means is the following. The way it works is like this. It means that this system, this email address, is hooked up to my Posterous account. So how it works is the following, and this is for everybody, but you just have to have your email addresses synced properly. It works by email, which means I'm going to compose a message, and the way it works is when I email the address Posterous, like that, the way you see it spelled, @posterous.com, what's going to happen is this address becomes my blog posting panel. So you see here how it says subject, and then see here how there's a body. Treat this like if it's your blog posting panel. So my subject is, let's just pretend this was the case. Viewing property in, and then whatever your city name is. And I'm just going to name this example blog post, just so that we could identify it. So if this was our blog title, our subject now becomes our blog title, like if you're doing a regular blog posting. All right, and what that means is the following. Let's go to the Posterous itself. And you see here how it said this is a test on Webinar Live. Well, pretty much this was the subject, and the text here was the body, which means the subject line here was called "This is a test on a Webinar Live," and it was the subject, and then the body here is just repeating. I'm copying and pasting a bunch of text here. So basically, treat this, your email becomes your blog posting screen. All right, and what that means is when I email, I'm going to go over advanced settings in a little bit, but basically, advanced email routing. You could choose, just to give you a future pace it, you could choose what networks you post to, and it's done through all email. Alright, I'll get to that shortly, but basically let's just stick to posting to Posterous. So when I email posterous.posterous.com, I put my subject line and my body, and when I send this, what's going to happen is my account here, my Posterous account here, is going to see that an email is received to Posterous, and an email was received from the email address josh@leadgenerationtv. So when my account sees that I sent myself an email from the email account here that's hooked up, what it's going to do is it's going to create a blog posting. It's going to create a blog posting using the subject line and the body that I had just entered. All right. So hopefully that's making sense. All right. So it takes a little while sometimes to go, but let's just view the message one more time. So here was our details. Our subject line was viewing property in city name, and this is just an example blog posting. And this was our body. What we're going to see once Posterous updates in the next few minutes, or next minute or so, is we're going to have a blog post here called that viewing property in city name, and then the body, the text is going to be the body that we just entered. So hopefully this goes any moment now. Still not going. So basically, while it's processing, I'm going to move on to just to keep on explaining. So basically, what's happening right now is we sent ourselves an email. I sent an email to posterous@posterous.com, and this is the email address you should all write down. All right, and here's what that means. When I emailed posterous@posterous.com from my email address josh@leadgenerationtv, that's going to make it post here. But now comes the question, how the heck do you make it post to all of your networks? So if all of our networks were the one found here, we have all of our networks here, right? Well, the question becomes, how do I post one update to all of these networks through my email? Well, here's how you do that. After you've done all the stuff we talked about, making sure that your account is the right one, and this could be on your cell phone, this could be on the desktop computer email, it doesn't matter. Here's what you want to do. You're going to email the address called post@posterous.com, the way you see it here. When you email this address named post@posterous.com from the email address that you have synced with your Posterous account, what's going to happen is emailing it to post@Posterous, putting your subject line here like test to all networks. So here's all of our content, right? So when I email post@posterous.com, and here's my subject line and my body, what I'm telling this system to do is email all of these networks.